And I'm live, just like that. So this is part two today. There's a specific reason for this. So I'm not driving my car, I'm driving my wife's car. And two things that I'm expecting to happen. One, I bought her one of these little clip thingies. I actually bought it for myself, but it does not work in my car at all. So maybe if I were to stabilize this a little bit, there we go, something like this. Is that better? Okay. Maybe that would be a little bit less shaky. I am so sorry. That is a little bit wobbly, isn't it? I promise you, I'm quite consistent on the road. Little Ford EcoSport. I bought my wife a couple of years back, and to be honest, I love this little car. It's not really something I would want to drive on a daily basis, but it's something that she actually enjoys because it's lifted up a little bit. It's a little bit higher off the ground, so it has a little bit of road clearance, and she enjoys it. She absolutely loves it. Haven obviously absolutely adores this car. In fact, she said something to us when we bought this car, that this is the car that she wants one day when my wife's done with it. So I said, yeah, fine. Now I did see something on YouTube the last couple of days. It's a company in California, and what they have is like a 40, I think it's 40-mile range car, which is a electronic car with like batteries and solar panels on it, and it's apparently ranged for 40 miles just off of the solar that it generates on a daily basis. I forget what the company's name is, Apparel or Appeal something, but that's something that fascinates me. I thought to myself, if you have that car, then you never have to plug it really in if you have it as a daily driver to work and back. And to be honest, if those stats are accurate, and let's hope they are accurate, if they're accurate, then that would kill off like 90% of all gasoline vehicles that you use on a daily basis to work and back. Now, I'm pretty sure you'd still need something for a longer term. I'd say if you're driving a couple of hundred miles, like 300, 400 miles a day, you'd probably need something still. But specifically, two people traveling. Yeah, see, it's already complaining. Um, I'll get some gas closer to my wife's um, my wife's work. By the way, I'm going to pick her up. I dropped her off this morning, and I have to go pick her up this afternoon. And long story short, really long story short, all I need to do is pick her up, go pick up burgers. I want to try this Impossible Burger thing, and from there. But other than that, so this fascinating 40-mile a day car. I'm sorry, I want to go back to that. That's more interesting than the Impossible Burger. Forgive me right now. But 40 miles, it has like solar panels. These like diamond-shaped solar panels all over the front, and then the roof, and then your dashboard is also really just one big solar panel, apparently. And then you don't have a rear window, back window. You have a one huge solar panel with a camera and a thingy here that you, whenever you put your car in reverse, where you can see where you're going. No idea what that means, but okay. So, long story short, what I'm saying is if you get something and you're traveling basically 40 miles per day, and you have a car that can do 40 miles per day just off of the sunlight, that's pretty phenomenal. I take that in a heartbeat. So the videos on YouTube, it was talking, they were talking about $25,000. Now it's still a year from production of the vehicle. Let me rephrase that, from it being released to the public. But I went to the website and it was saying $30,000. And you have to put $100 down. I don't mind putting $100 down if in a year from now it's going to get what released to public. But then you're still stuck with the situation of inflationary cost increases and so on, wage increases, where it might be $30,000 you bank on today, and when you open your eyes in a year or two, it's 35, 40 grand. So also the other thing is, I haven't tried driving at 40 miles. So I would want to probably go rent the car at like a Enterprise or a Hertz or something to that effect for a week. Yeah, I know it's going to cost me a whack of money to do that, but if I can rent the car for a week and I can justify the existence of $30,000 or $40,000 going out of my life, leaving my life, and if I have to finance it, it's probably going to be closer to 50 grand. If I have to if I have to think about it from that perspective, then I would have to be honest to say, I would want to first try it out. Or if the company decides, well, you rent the vehicle for your first month and then you have the opportunity to buy it, but you have to return it obviously in the same condition as received. That would make sense to me, like 100% sense to me. If they say, mate, pay us $200, $500 for the month, because it's going to cost you in a monthly payment, monthly installment in any case, around $500. No, that's going to be more than $500. That's going to be close on $700 probably per month to buy $35,000, $40,000, $50,000. So if you're going to finance that for 5 years, I mean, surely you would want to justify it that this is zero emissions. In other words, no, I don't have to plug it into my 110, 120. I don't know what it is here in the US. 110, 120 volt socket. I don't have to plug it in overnight. They were talking about if you plug it in, that'll give you an additional 150 mile range overnight. And I don't think my wife would ever need to plug it in. If you look at like average gas mileage, it's green. Okay, I understand why he's not going. There's a EMT vehicle. Good on you. Good on you for seeing that, mate. Good on you for seeing that. Well done. I wouldn't have seen it. I didn't hear anything, to be very, very honest. But it was kind of annoying to stop at a green light. But I obviously would do it 100 times over if emergency services need to come past you. This is quite cold. And then here's the other thing. Like, how good would the AC work on an electric vehicle if it? I mean, there are no good choices. I suppose the left-hand lane. I suppose, I don't know. Anyways, when you think about the the fact that in the middle of summer here, where I'm at, in the middle of summer, it is apocalyptic. It is scorching. It is desperately hot. So if you think about you can drive without AC, but everybody else will hate you if you drive without AC here where I'm at, um, because it's so hot. I mean, you just want sweat bag when you get out of your car. So would I want to sit in a car with no proper AC? I don't think so. I don't think so. And then, I mean, there is no electricity being generated with a gas engine. So it's 100% sun and so solar power and batteries. I mean, I have so many questions, and there are no cars that you can go test drive. So I'm fascinated by it. I would want one, at least one, but I can think of case or use case for it. I've got two kids, my boys, at home that would need at least one of those. They're not generously financially at the moment, and one of the things that the missus and we spoke about and we agree upon 100% is the fact that they need to pay for their own stuff. Now, I don't mind buying a car for them, like I did for my eldest son. I bought him a car. Funny story, my eldest, he had a Mitsubishi Galant, and him and his girlfriend, they were in one accident prior to him getting his license, which was a red flag. I should have seen it 100 miles away. And then day one, he got his license. I'll never forget it. I went to go lay down in the afternoon, early afternoon. He'd already moved out of our house. I went to go lay down in the afternoon. I got up after a bit of a snooze, a bit of a nap. Got up, went to go see where he was because I was going to drive with him to his new place, and he'd already gone. He'd already left. And before well, directly after he got his license, on the way home, shall I say, I had a conversation with him. I said, "Listen, my boy, if you're in a car accident, if you have an accident, you cannot call your mother. She cannot handle the stress." Like I said, him and his girlfriend, they were driving. He had a bit of a ding, and he called his mother, which was useless. My wife cannot handle stress, like on no level, cannot deal with it. So she was freaking out. I was busy at work. Called me up. I went over and I took care of everything. But the same thing with him. Like I said, my boy, if you're in an accident, you can't call your mother. You have to call me. That night, 9 o'clock at night, because he had two other roommates, and they wanted to go out and they wanted to go and experience life with wheels, I suppose. I don't know. But anyways, long story short, they went out. Somebody drove in front of him. The person that drove in front of him, or into him actually, was somebody leaving an Olive Garden. Did not look uh, right. Just cut in front of him. Katwa! Accident. Car written off. Goodbye wheels. Apocalyptic. So I told him, call me, called me. I took care of it, and it was not a problem. Having said that, so I'll do the same for my other two boys. Although they're going to have to share a car for a little bit, because I'm not paying insurance on two additional cars, even though I'm going to pay insurance on two additional people. this entire conversation started with this electric vehicle, which is totally uninteresting. But when you look at gas prices at the moment being at a spectacular $3.09 today, and it's a good price if you get it at $3.09 at the moment. Well, some say it's a good price, but I mean, I'm struggling to be convinced, to be honest. But $3.09, if you think about it, and you have a vehicle that can do 40 miles per day, that's just generated off of the sunlight. I mean, surely that's the way to go. And then hopefully it's not built, like a shed. It's something that can withstand weather and so on. So I'm totally intrigued by this. And I'm kind of thinking that as soon as it comes out, I want to buy one. In fact, I'm thinking of putting my name up for an order on one, which is something that I wanted to do with the Cybertruck, but never did. And there's a reason for that. The Cybertruck started off at, what was it, 3 years back, 4 years back? It was pre-COVID, but it started off as a $50,000 car. It is now going at $120,000. And I mean, all of that's inflation in between 4 years, 5 years back, and now. And that's what has me a little bit worried about this car, because the first review I saw, they were saying 25 grand for it. It is now at $30,000. So in a year from now, we can expect it to be 35. So when you go and take delivery of it, it's going to be about 35, $40,000, and then you add in all those extra charges and fees and so on. There you go, 50 grand out of pocket. So, anyways, that's just my personal opinion on all of this, electric vehicles and so on. And I saw there were a ton of messages. I apologize, I'm driving, so I'm not really reading anything. I'm pretty sure I'll be at a red light in a little bit, and at that stage I'd be more than happy to do some reading. I doubt the people that wrote those are still with me on this video, but it's always nice to go back. I do go and read those messages on a regular basis. Like, I'll make the effort to go read it. So, anyways, otherwise, what a lovely day. They were talking about it being 86 today. I cannot confirm that it is 86. I think it was 83 in a little bit back. And I am... Oof, that was bouncy, wasn't it? Pretty sure that we can expect it to be... If it's 86 today, the water temperature will be around 82, 83, which means this afternoon at about 5 o'clock, when air temperature and water temperature are on par, it is touching perfection. Literally touching perfection. Because I get the opportunity to go get in the water, and as the air temperature starts coming down to what, 79, the water just feels like heaven. It's like sitting in a bath. And then the funny thing is, so the missus and I will get out of the water. We'll go sit outside, and it doesn't take really all that long for you to... Ooh, that was a bit of an accident. Little Fiat 500. Little blue one. Ouch. It looks like something sideswiped it or drove into the, these banisters here. So, shame. I hope the people are okay. Anyways, but yeah, well, it doesn't take much for you to start feeling, oh goodness, this is getting quite cold outside now. So, but while you're in the water, and the water retains the temperature for quite a bit, or the temperature in the water is retained quite a bit. It's quite scary. I'm sorry. I'm used to driving either my Ford Fusion that I have, or the Saturn, a little Saturn SE2 of mine. I'm used to driving something that's, I don't know, this car feels a little bit top heavy, to be honest. Going around that corner was a little bit scary, to be honest. So, all good. Yeah, I didn't want to hold anyone up. So, everybody's fine. It's all good. Nobody drove into anything because of me, shall we say. But yeah, anyways, long story short, that's this is. Go pick her up, maybe go, well, no, not maybe, definitely go pick up a couple of burgers. She'll probably want to go home first, so maybe go home first. Maybe she's in the mood to join me for a couple of burgers. Not me personally eating a couple, but for everybody else to eat something as well. My goodness. People are driving quite aggressively here. Anyways, but it's all good. I don't think this rig that I've got on here in her car is really something suitable for live streaming, to be honest. It's a bit bouncy, to be honest. I don't think it's something that would last for too long on a Saturday afternoon while you're driving. Can you imagine taking this rig out into the wild, being on one of those red wash roads, those with the ripples? Those, it would be awful. I did see some of those. It has like 3 suction cup type thingamajiggies, which is, I mean, anything would be, even a potato would be more stable than this. This thing is as stable as, I don't know, but as a GPS, something to hold your phone while you have a GPS in the car, maybe connected to the radio for some iTunes, whatever the case may be, that would make sense. But as a daily driver to live stream from, that would be apocalyptic. That would be bad. So I don't think this is going to last very long in my gear. I think I'll leave it in my wife's car going forward, so she can hook her phone up and have something with GPS on it. She was complaining, by the way, while we were driving down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She was complaining that she had to hold on to the phone while she's driving, looking down at the phone, and so on. So it's obviously something that bothers her. I totally understand it. I don't have that same issue. The Saturn, I have this little cup thingy where I put my phone in on the dashboard, and that's much more stable than this. And then the Ford, my Ford, it has everything on a screen, like a tablet-sized screen built in, so I don't need to use anything. To be honest, I've got everything that I need on it. So I'm set. It's my wife that concerned me a little bit. Now, someone told her that she can hook up her little screen in the car to have GPS as well. But I don't know, that's someone that told her about it. I haven't heard that. In fact, when we bought the car, funny story, when we bought the car, we walked into, so, okay, we were on our way within a week's time to go um, to go to go on vacation in Myrtle Beach, and we had a Dodge, one of those 7-seaters. We have one of those, and it had conked out. The Mitsubishi we gave to my boy. I had my Saturn. We didn't have the Ford Fusion, and nor did she have this car. And then we had some Pontiac Sunfire. So all I'm saying is, all the cars we had were, how shall I be kind? They were all a bit dodgy. So I said to her one Saturday morning before she had to go to work, I said, listen, let's go have a look at a couple of cars. Let's just make sure we pick something that's 100%. Obviously, I'd done my research and I've looked at cars beforehand. I looked at pricing. And so I went to a Ford dealership in Greensboro, drove there. We looked around. She wanted to have a look at a Expedition. I knew I didn't want it. The reason for that is it's a huge engine. It's something that takes a ton of. Sorry, you guys call it motor. It's huge, and it was going to be a absolute taxation with the amount of fuel that it would use. So I knew this was not going to be the car for us. And I said to the guy who was who had to pay us, I said to him, mate, you've got to have something a bit smaller than this. And he said, yeah. Took us to a couple of cars. It wasn't really something that I wanted to even look at, to be honest. But then this little car, because it's red, it like immediately popped out. And I said, can we have a go at this? And they said, well, yeah, sure. So we had a look at it. My wife said, this is the car for us. And I drove us there with the little Saturn. Got time for her to go to work. I said, don't worry about me. Worst case scenario, I'll get an Uber. No, I wasn't going to get an Uber. Obviously not. I wasn't going to get an Uber. I'm at a car dealership. Of course I'm going to walk out of there with a car. So long story short, we decided to buy the vehicle. I said to her, take my car, drive safely, but take my car, go to work, and like I'll find my way home. And she was like, yeah, sounds good. Okay. Left me there. I took care of everything. We got the car. We got the financing, everything done. The only thing that scared me, and this scared me like seriously, was the first time I stopped at a red light. The car shut down, like the engine stopped. I thought, oh, dang it. No, not this, not now. I just bought the car. Like, I can't have a rubbish engine now. I didn't know that cars would do this. Like, while you're driving the car, please, mate. When you drive the car, some of them shut down the engine to not use gas so that you save money. Like, that was completely new to me. I did not know. So I walked out of there with the car, to drove home with it, and the first red light I got, this happened. So I was a bit unearthed about it. I was a bit stressed, to be honest, and I took my foot off the brake when the light turned green, like this. There, engine's off. Um, I took my foot off and it started up, and I thought to myself, "Oh, this is ingenious." So I went home, took some pictures, sent it to my mom, my mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and so on. And long story short, I drove it to my wife's work. I asked her, obviously, I sent her a text message, when's your lunch? And she said, whatever time. I said, okay, I'll be there. So I drove in with the car. She was so excited. It was just precious, shall we say. So a week later, we went on vacation with this car, but kids were packed in like sardines. So she drove it. I think Zach sat next to her, Lunard and Haven in the back, although they are like oil and water, don't mix. Best of friends and worst of friends at times. So, long story short, they got to go on vacation. I joined them in the Saturn a little bit later. And then that year, that was 2021, 2022, 2022, I think. 2021. 2021, definitely 2021, because 2022 I did go to South Africa, but I was supposed to go 2021, but the day I left here in the US, that was quite harsh. The day I left, that was the day that Omicron something hit and all flights to South Africa was stopped. Anyways, not about that. So when I um, when I got home um, after dropping the car off with my wife, she was so excited. She was sending pictures to everybody. It was so entertaining to watch my wife so excited about the car. It was just fantastic. And I'm thinking, okay, just the thought out there, but I'm thinking she will feel the same if we obviously not sell this car because Haven wants it desperately one day. And it would be a great car for her to have one day. But if we pick up this battery operated like 40 miles per day charge off of solar panel car for her, if we pick that up for, I reckon she will be just as excited about it. So that's my thinking without overly explaining things for the last, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes. I don't know how long I've been live. But yeah, without overly explaining it, that is my thinking, to be honest. I'm thinking this is quite achievable as long as the price of the vehicles stay within relative space, I suppose we can say. So, anyways, I thought I'd share this with you guys. Um, just a thought. I'll go look for the car manufacturer. I'm sorry it's so bumpy. They're busy working on this road. It's rubbish, to be honest with you guys. But I'll definitely go share the car. There are a couple of videos on YouTube's. I'll go share one of those videos um, on my, I suppose, posts. And if anybody's interested, I have no skin in the game. I don't have a dog in this fight. But if anybody's interested, I think it's a valid option to have. A little two-seater. But anyways, I think this is where I will call this little excursion of mine called a live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a magnificent Saturday. I know I'm going to have one. And we'll talk soon. Good catching up. Cheers, guys. Bye. Oh, let me read the messages quickly. Okay, let me pop this out. How do you pop this out? Can't be that difficult, can? Oh my goodness, this thing really grips it. Ah, there we go. Okay, let's have a look at this. Couple of restricted messages. 60-year-old, yeah. Couple of languages I couldn't read even if I tried. Hi, I'm new. Yeah, that's awesome, mate. Couple of, okay. It's giving a robot. Okay, I'm not sure what that. You're going to crash today. I'm not going to crash today, mate. I'm the safest driver on the face of the earth. And then watching from India. Oh, cheers, mate. Love your voice. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. 36 minutes. My goodness. That's overdoing it, to be honest. I should never expose anybody to my voice for 36 minutes. Anyways, I'll call it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a fantastic day. Take it easy. We'll talk soon.